poppin', everyone? Welcome back to Car Talk, episode 22. Today, I kind of just wanted to talk about work-life balance. It popped in my head 4 seconds ago, so I want to talk about it. What do I think about it? You know what? If it's all like a hoax, or should you be focused on it? I think the answer is a little more complicated than that, because I think it all depends on, one, your goals, right? Two, well, it's honestly just mainly your goals. What are you trying to accomplish? At what point in life are you at? I feel like is another variable to the question. I definitely do think it's important in the sense of not so much work-life balance, but in not overwhelming yourself. Because mental health is really, really important. And putting too much on your plate could add, some unneeded stress that, you wasn't meant to have. I've had this issue. I had this issue about a few months ago, about right when I first started doing the whole real estate class thing. It was a bit overwhelming trying to record, read, work, go to the gym. At that time, I was going to the gym for about 2 hours because it was bad. So going to the gym and then getting 8 hours of sleep and recording was a lot, and it was pretty stressful. There was a few stuff I had to tone down because I noticed I was getting burnt out, and that's one thing you don't want to do that I made the mistake of, because what happens is when you put too much on your plate, then you start to get burnt out, and it makes everything just 10 times harder. So if you're in that predicament, see what you can lighten the load on. Obviously, there's a few things that's non-negotiable, like the gym. So what you could do, what I did, was I just lowered the amount I went to the gym for. So normally I went for 2 hours. I changed up my training style. Now I go 2 sets till failure. And it's about one less exercise. The upside of that is I'm out of the gym in about an hour and maybe hour 30 if I want to go to the sauna. If I don't want to go in the sauna, I'm out of the gym in an hour. So it cut down my time a lot, which helped out quite a bit. So, yeah, we got that taken care of. Don't add too much to your plate. If you see yourself starting to get overwhelmed, see what you can cut down on. And it is okay to say no. It is okay. So you don't get stressed out. That's something I had to learn too, was to learn how to say no. Now, back to the discussion. I feel like if your goal is to become super successful, right, and make a lot of money, or get out of a certain situation that you're in, then I feel like a work-life balance, per se, is probably not ideal. Because, if you think about it, what is work-life balance? It's a way to make your life a little more comfortable. Which could be a problem if you're trying to achieve your goals, because you really aren't supposed to be comfortable, if you really think about it. Let's say you're trying to open your own business, for example. Owning your own business is an extremely uncomfortable and scary and nerve-wracking thing to do. I haven't been there yet, but I can tell you what, the steps forward takes you out of your comfort zone. work-life balance is some way where you could put yourself back in the comfort zone. And if you want to be successful, you have to learn to get out of the comfort zone. So work-life balance isn't super important to you because you kind of have to work a lot in order to achieve your goals. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't say it's that important if you're at that point in your life. You're like, okay, take myself here. If you're a young person who doesn't have, if you're a young person and you're trying to really elevate your life and be, just really elevate your life, probably you want to add more stuff to your plate in that scenario and lower your work-life balance because you're trying to achieve something. And to do that, you have to put a lot of time into that thing that you want to achieve. So now if you're, let's say you're in your 30s, right? And you already have either your business or a good job, a good career, and you got a family and all that, then work-life balance for those people is super important. So I feel like the whole question really, it's individualized between the person's situation, between the person's age and situation, which I just said, I keep saying that. But between the age, what their goals are, matters a lot. So you got to look at your situation. For me personally, I don't really have a work-life balance. I'm not gonna lie. I work every day. When I get home, I'm still not relaxing yet. I'm doing real estate. I do my yoga, which doesn't fucking feel like relaxing. I'm not gonna lie. I feel relaxed after, but not during. I still have to go to the gym. So then after all that, I maybe get about 2 hours to record. And, I'm recording, which recording is fun. Now, I think that's the difference, though, because just because you work all the time does not mean that you have to be miserable all the time. If you enjoy what you do, then it's going to be a fun road. But T-Mobile, I work at T-Mobile, I work at Tropical. Tropical, it depends on the day, whether or not, and it depends who I'm working with, whether or not I'm going to enjoy my Tropical shift. But I guess it's the same with T-Mobile, really. But I overall enjoy, I enjoy that job a lot more than, let's say, a construction job or a manual labor job. Those I was miserable the entire time. T-Mobile is just a little mentally exhausting, and my social battery does get depleted a lot by working with customers all day. So, but overall, I do enjoy everything that I have. I do enjoy doing everything I have on my plate. Real estate, I just hate studying. Same reason I didn't want to go to school. Same reason I hated school. I hate studying. And it's a lot of reading. A lot of reading in the laws. And it's a lot. It's very exhausting, I would say. Definitely makes me happy that I did not choose college, because I would have been miserable doing schoolwork again. But we are off topic. So, basically, to recap, to answer the question on whether or not you should focus on work-life balance and focus on it all depends. Look at your situation. Take a good look at your goals. What do you want to accomplish? When you look at your goals, you got to also find out how badly do you want to increase your goals and elevate your life. If you're already comfortable and you're already, and you really don't have anything as far as more than what you're reaching to. Like, you already have a decent job, you already got a wife and kids, then yeah, take some time, and you're older. You don't need to become a workaholic then work-life balance is very important, especially if you have a family. You want to make sure you spend time with them, so you're gonna have to sacrifice work. For those people, it's, you know, more suited for them, in my opinion. For people that are trying to elevate their life, achieve something greater, have very big goals, you know, who are very ambitious, which both sides is completely fine. It's whatever. At the end of the day, you want to be happy, you know, and enjoy the ride of life. So some people enjoy being, you know, I guess, stressed out, which I personally feel like it's a bumpy road. You always want to make sure you're not getting too overwhelmed if you pick that route, because at the end of the day, consistency is everything. For literally anything, consistency is key. You know, with the gym, with work, it's better to be consistent than to be super obsessed for, you know, a month and then be lazy for 6 months. You know what I mean? When you could just tone it down a little bit, but work every day. That's more manageable. Over time, you're gonna reap the more benefits. I think that's how you say that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this car talk. I got nothing else. It popped in my head and I wanted to talk about it. You know how it is. You know how it is. So, have a good one, guys. See ya.